Hello, welcome to Metal Vice, a podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with your other host,
Karen.
And I am wearing my...
Headbangers boat jacket.
That's right, which which means one thing, Karen. What is that?
We saw a band that was on the boat.
Yes, and that band was Gatecreeper from the 2023 alumni of Headbangers Boat. Joining them was Frozen Soul, soon to be alumni for 2024.
Soon.
We haven't seen them yet, but we're going to go on that boat. And Warm. Yeah, I didn't see a tour name for this one. You're going to look that up real quick, but while you
do that, you can talk about all your bullshit.
Yeah, all my bullshit. Which is, this show was at Bottom Lounge, another one of our favorite venues. Ticket prices were $23 with $6.56 in fees.
Cool.
No tour name, right?
No tour name.
See, told you.
Cool. North America 2024.
More than likely, yes.
Part 2.
Whatever, yeah. As I said, this was at Bottom Lounge. We've talked about Bottom Lounge a lot. It's one of our favorite venues, at least mine.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I like it when it's not like it was for BTBAM.
BTBAM was crazy busy, which makes sense. It was a great fucking show.
It was,
but it was definitely fucking packed in there.
Yeah.
This was a good sized crowd for it as well. The last few shows we've seen there have been, and the last few have been amazing, right? I think it was Norma Jean and Orbit Culture were the two headliners for that. And of those two shows, there were, 7 bands? And of those 7, 4 were from Chicago.
Yep.
Which was, I think we talked about this during the Norma Jean show, of just being, outside of Orbit Culture and maybe one, not Norma Jean, who was the other opener? Darkest Hour. Outside of Orbit Culture and Darkest Hour, the Chicago bands fucking stole the stage for us. They owned that fucking stage. And we were joking going into this, like, who's going to be the surprise Chicago band tonight? There was none. It was just the 2 other openers.
Yeah.
But those 2 openers seemed cool. Frozen Soul we'd seen before, and we were super fucking stoked to see him again. Worm, neither one of us had saw, or so we thought, going into it. But what I was trying to get to is, we've been to Bottom Lounge a lot. We're going to do some 666s on venues, and this will be one that we'll probably throw up here. There'll be a link if we post this before, if not after. We'll eventually do a 666 on this venue.
On the venue, yeah.
Yeah. But getting into Warm, why don't you read off their set list for us, just diving straight into the acts.
So they had Murk Above the Dark Moor, Empire of the Necromancers, Raven Blood, and they ended with Sea of Sorrow.
Yeah, only 4 tracks, but it felt so much longer.
Yeah, it's doom death metal, very long, very awesome, drawn out. And when I say drawn out, it's not like, oh my God, when's this going to end? But it's like the just looming,
the songs are drawn out.
Yeah.
You have the atmosphere to the songs, like the solos and everything is just sort of like, it keeps building and building and drawing out and building the anticipation and just sort of the vibe of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And when I said earlier this was a band that neither one of us saw, going into it, we didn't think we had seen this.
Yeah, I didn't think. I hadn't seen them.
And we get there and they're setting up the stage, and they have like skulls on the stage, and there's a candle on the stage, like an old school candle that had like 3 or 4 candles, like you hold it up type thing, right? And candlestick with 3 or 4, and that's what I'm trying to say. But I see that, and I'm like, this looks so fucking familiar. And I turn to you and I'm like, have we seen these guys? And you're like, no, we have not seen them. Are you sure? This looks so familiar. The stage setup, like, it just feels so familiar. The name even sounds familiar. And I'm sitting there thinking, and like, wait, no, yeah, I got super fucking excited because I remember exactly where I saw them. And I pulled up our spreadsheet to double check this, and sure enough, I did see them. It was just me alone because you were in Ireland at the time for work. And I was home alone, and at Reggie's was the Decibel tour this year. And they were one of the openers of the Decibel tour. And I remember loving this fucking set at Decibel so much. And I was like, I did see these guys. These guys are fucking awesome. And I think you asked me, like, am I going to like them? And I was like, yeah, I think you will. They're kind of a doomy but death metal sort of sound to them.
Yeah, it definitely is like a Decibel type music. Like whenever I think of Decibel, metal and beer fest, we always say beer and metal.
Yeah.
But like we go to the Denver one, or we have the last couple years, and I always think of this like doom death metal bands as being there. So it definitely makes sense for a Decibel show.
And they have other things as well, but that seems to be the primary.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of it.
Who the Cannibal Corpse they had the first year, which I would say wasn't like this, and Pig Destroyer the same way.
Yeah, like the headliner's not necessarily that way.
Oh, but all the openers, yeah.
But the opener, especially the early openers, are like
Mother Graves as well. Yeah. The shirt I'm wearing right now. Yeah. I love that festival so much. That show was amazing. You didn't get to go to it.
No.
It was at Reggie's. It was crazy oversold, I think. It was so fucking packed in there. And my foot was like flaring up as well, so I could barely walk. So I was like up in the balcony, like looking down. And I just remember them walking out with the sword. I walked like their stage setup and everything. And I was like, I like these guys. These guys are really good.
Yeah. There's a good presence. Like the one guitarist that was on the left side, stage left. What side were we on? Stage
we were
right?
on stage left.
Oh, wait. No, we were on stage right.
We were on stage right. We were on stage right.
So the guitarist on stage left reminded me of Guilfoyle from
oh, really?
Silicon Valley.
Really?
Yeah. Just like the look and everything.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things. But anyways, their stage presence was really good, I thought, as well. Like especially for an opening band. Granted, I couldn't see the drummer at all.
There was a lot of smoke as well.
There was, but then
clouding the whole area.
Souls stuff like was on the stage.
They did have like their side. Well, no, that wasn't Frozen Souls. They took that away. That was their stuff, I think.
No, it was Frozen Souls. They took you could see the lights through the black that was over it, and it said Frozen Soul on it.
I thought they took that away for Frozen Soul, or they move it back for Frozen Soul.
They may have moved them back.
Okay.
But those were like the things to say Frozen Soul on them.
Like the backdrop, the tapestry type things. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember that.
No, I remember seeing like you could see the lights through it, and I was like, oh, that's the thing for Frozen Soul.
During the performance, I thought it was a great performance. I loved the stage presence, as you were saying. The smoke effect was really, really good with the lighting. I had talked about multiple times of hating bands that have sort of the backlights into the crowd and how it blinds me, and I can't see the band, and I'm here to see the band. Like, that's why I paid money, is to see the band and hear the music and see the performance. And when you have those backlights into my eyes and I can't fucking see you, it pisses me off. There were a lot of times I could not see the band for this because of the smoke, but I didn't care because I wasn't being blinded. I feel like that's part of the show.
It is,
is to sort of drown them in mystery, drown them in the smoke and whatnot, right?
It's different than like a metalcore band where it's
where it's like we want you to see the silhouette and be blinded. Like it's a different aesthetic, and Uda to me is like the band that perfected this because they're the first ones we saw that did it so fucking well. This band, a close second in my mind. Like, it was such a great stage presence and stage show it was so fucking good. But I was super excited that I remembered them. Like, I saw that band before.
Whenever you get excited about, or whenever you have like a memory of something, you get super excited. It's
funny. And I did get excited thinking you would really like it as well. After the show, or after their performance during stage setup, I did ask you, and what were your thoughts? Did you like it?
Oh, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
I would love to see them again. It's so fucking good.
No, I want to see them again too. And actually, I just scrolled down on our set list to see if they were going to be playing at Decibel, but they're not.
No, I could definitely see them at Decibel for sure.
Yeah.
The thing with Decibel is like there's so many bands on there that I've never heard of, and we go and we love it so much. Like this year's lineup, looking into it, Frozen Souls there, and there's another band that was there last year, Glacial Tomb or something like that.
I think. Were they there last year?
They were there last year. They're like the young kids.
Yeah.
Those guys are fucking awesome. But otherwise, like everybody else on that lineup, I'm like, I don't fucking know really who you are. Mm-mm. But I trust Decibel so much. Yeah. And same thing when I went to that show at Reggie's, like their 20th anniversary tour thing they did earlier in the year. It's like, I'm gonna have fun. This is gonna be a great fucking show.
Right.
And it was.
Right. Yeah.
And this set was just as good. But anything else for Worm?
No.
So fucking good. I can't wait to see them again. But we get into Frozen Soul, which we had seen before, and we get to see them for the second time, and I was super fucking stoked. Why don't you tell us what we had for our set list?
They start with Encased in Ice, Death and Glory, Invisible Tormentor, Merciless, Frozen Soul, Best Served Cold, Morbid Effigy, Glacial Domination, Arsenal of War, and they ended with Crypt of Ice. That was actually a long set. I mean, it was only like 40 minutes, but
yeah,
I mean,
a proper
like
like opening set, right, for a second opener.
Yeah.
We had seen them before, as we said, with Amon Amarth. They opened for them.
Yes. Yep. Up in Madison, right?
Yes, at the Sylvie Center, Sylvie venue, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. And we knew that they were going to be on the boat already, the Headbanger boat. We keep saying the boat, but the Headbangers boat. We knew that was already announced. So when we saw them there, we were like, oh, cool, let's check them out before the boat.
Yeah, and I was super excited to see them on the boat for the first time, but then we saw them here and it's like, oh, all right, whatever. Not here, but at that show. Yeah. I was like, cool, I guess we'll go in not blind on the boat now, so that's fine. But I wanted to see them on the boat. But at the same time, I'm glad we saw them at that show because they're so fucking good. Such a great fucking sound.
Yeah.
I didn't mention this about Worm, but there was definitely a lot of thrashy elements to them I picked up. Same thing with Frozen Soul. So much thrashy, but death metal sort of elements to it.
Yeah, definitely like death thrash. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I gravitate. I love the thrashy elements because that's where I sort of started my musical journey, especially in metal, is going through thrash. So seeing them come on stage was fucking awesome again. And this stage was smaller, I feel like, than it was at Sylvie. Yeah. But they made the most of the little spot. They had more. We weren't very close for the Sylvie, but this time we were very close because the venue is much smaller, and they have these little like guys frozen in ice, basically, like these figurines that we didn't see last time,
skeletons, and
which was really kind of cool for like a stage presence of just like.
I totally forgot about them once they got started though. Like we saw them a little bit when they were setting up the stage, but then after that, I didn't notice them.
And the one thing I noticed is they set their own stage up too.
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
I didn't think they would be doing that because like, hey, you're the second opener, but no, they're out there on stage setting their own gear up, setting their own kits up and everything, and it was like that's fucking awesome.
I noticed that when the bassist came out and was taping the set list down and stuff, I was like, oh, they're already here. Yep. Set up their own set. But honestly, at Sylvie, I'm sure. Well, Sylvie, they were the first opener, so everything would have been set up, right?
Were they the first opener?
Yeah, I think so.
Or were they the second opener? There were 4 bands that night, right?
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Frozen Soul, Cannibal Corpse. Oh, not Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, Obituary was there too. Obituary. Yeah, so they would have been the first.
Cannibal Corpse, and
yeah. But getting to the music itself, I love their fucking music. It was great. There were a couple people around us who were super fucking into it, and like they knew the songs and they were singing it, which is great. I love when there's that energy from the crowd. The only problem with these particular individuals is they were also very fucking chatty in between the songs, at the beginning of songs. And like the band would go off, tune up their instruments. They'd have a little dialogue back and forth, with the crowd and whatnot. And as they're doing that, these two individuals are just sort of they're chatting amongst themselves. And then the song kicks in and they continue their conversation until they finish their conversation.
Yelling it, like hand over mouth, yelling.
Because it's too loud in here to have a conversation, so we got to speak louder.
Yeah.
And then once they finish their conversation, okay, pick up with the song. Again, I love the fucking energy. I love the enthusiasm. I love that you know the song and fucking are into it. But shut the fuck up with your stupid, shitty conversations around, that was an awesome shirt. I had a shirt just like that someday, or I caught one like that once, or yeah, you just got to throw it back into the pit. Somebody dropped their shirt. Like, if nobody claims it, you just got to throw it in there. Like, fucking shit. What in the fuck is your problem? You clearly liked the band. Why the fuck aren't you enjoying the moment? Yeah. God fucking damn it.
And unfortunately, we have stood by this individual, one of the individuals I've recognized, at other shows, and it was the same exact way. Whoever they were with, they were just talking the entire time. And so now I'm going to be watching out for them. And if I see them, I'm going to be like, we got to fucking move. Yes. And they wear the same battle vest, so I know we will recognize them.
And the thing is, like, I noticed them early in the evening, too, during Worm, because they weren't near us during Worm, I don't think, because Worm was fucking awesome. The crowd was just sort of into the music. It was very quiet. I didn't hear much chatter, if any at all, just getting into the music. And honestly, during the entire night, because we stood by this group for not only Frozen Soul, but for Gatecreeper as well, and just chatty all night. And I think they were the only ones chatting. Everybody else around us was pretty...
The 3 guys in front of me were talking.
Oh, were they talking a lot? Oh, yeah, with the backpack. The backpack dude. Guy. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a bit frustrating. But yeah, now we know. Keep an eye out for him. But like I said, I I kind of recognized him as well, but early in the evening I was like, where the fuck do I know you from? I swear I've seen you, and now it's like ingrained in my head, like, fuck this motherfucker, I gotta get the fuck away from you.
Yeah.
Type
Which
thing.
we are better at now, where we just like move ourselves. We've tried it a couple shows saying stuff to people, and we just kind of stopped. So now
that doesn't work. Saying things like, hey, can you please sort of stop the conversation? Doesn't work. They get offended with you for like, fuck you, I'm having a good time type thing.
Yeah.
And it's really a shame because this dude seems pretty fucking cool. Super into music, super like like so much fucking knowledge.
Yeah. It knows like every word to like their song and many Gatecreeper songs. So obviously they listen to the music a lot.
So it's like, I'd love to have a conversation with you and hang out, but I'd love to do that when the band's not fucking playing.
Yeah.
So
anyways.
Yeah, that was very frustrating. The other frustrating thing was you mentioned moving, and during Worm, there wasn't much movement in the crowd. People are just sort of hanging back and taking in the music and enjoying it, banging their heads, having a good time.
That's kind of how the music for Worm
is. It's kind of that doomy death metal. Like you're not necessarily going to be fucking running a mile, right? You're not going to be bouncing into everybody. You're just going to be chilling out and fuck yeah, I'm into this type thing, right?
I don't think like this.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
You're like the turtle on Nemo.
Yeah, man.
Cool, dude.
Basically that. Any case, Frozen Soul comes up, and early on in the fucking night, they're like, I want to see a fucking circle pit go. And one opened, and it's a big, massive fucking pit in the middle of the crowd because everybody moves away from the pit. And they do a circle pit for 2 goddamn fucking laps. And then they get out of energy because nobody runs fucking miles or laps ever. And they stop. And then what happens? You have a giant hole because nobody wants to fill it the fuck back in. And it stayed that way all fucking night.
Even during the break.
Yes, even during the goddamn break. That shocked me. I had never seen that where a pit opened and during set changes and people like going to get beers and coming back, that pit stayed open. Nobody filled it in. I was like, what in the fuck is this bullshit?
Now, honestly, so Frozen Soul they were trying to get crowd interaction so much. They were trying their best. And I've been to some shows. Like there was a show in Ireland that I went to, and it was Vomit Forth was the band, and they were trying to get crowd interaction. It was early in the night. Nobody was moving, basically. And I kind of felt bad for them until they started saying like, we fucking came from America to play for you guys. And it's like, I fucking came from America to hear you play, so just fucking play. Like, stop complaining about everybody.
Well, you came from America to work and just happened to be there. So like this whole like
I went to see
I'm
them.
traveling to see you, but I'm going overseas to see you. Like no. I do like how you say it, but no, that's like the full truth by any means.
Anyways, but with Frozen Soul, they never did that whole like. They did try a couple times, like, now come on, let's see that Chicago energy, that sort of thing. But what I was going to say is during that, I saw on some of their faces, the people that were in the pit, and they just kind of like looked up like, oh, like I cannot do that again. Like doing the whole running in a circle thing.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, like I noticed it from a few guys where they're just like, oh, like the whole
I don't have the energy for this. Interesting.
Yeah, and that's almost how the energy was all through the night, was like, I don't want to do the fucking circle pit until the last song of Gatecreeper.
Huh.
But I just honestly, I think just people were tired. I don't know. Like, we don't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, I'm out of fucking energy. I just stood here for 2 hours. I can't run in a circle.
The crowd didn't seem overly old to me.
No, I'm not saying that they're old.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, okay.
To me, that sounds like an old crowd of like,
oh, no. I just think that
I don't have the energy to do this. I'm so old to do it. I don't want to get hurt.
One, it started at 8 p.m.
It did
and
start
if you're a
late.
working adult, 8 p.m. is a little late.
This was a Thursday as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
no, we've been to many shows that start late and the energy's there. I just wanted to bring up that I saw on people's faces their like sigh, or they're like, oh, I don't want to do that sort of thing.
Okay, I did not see that, so that's interesting. Okay, for sure. But yeah, I guess like it just opened, and they were doing a lot of like, come on, let's do a circle pit, let's see this energy. We love coming to Chicago. Chicago's so great. I mean, they just played Chicago like not even 2 months before at Bottom Lounge. They were at that festival at Bottom Lounge, like
at
3
Cobra?
blocks. Yeah, Cobra. There's like the outdoor festival in the middle of
I
July.
remember that. Yeah. And we
July
didn't make it to.
19th or something.
Yeah, it was like the weekend that we got home from Spain.
Oh, we might not have made it because of all the delays and shit too.
We would have got home that Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we weren't going anyways. But.
In any case, so they were just here in Chicago at that festival, right? And I think they've been here a few times. And yeah, they were trying hard to get people into it. And it just, the crowd at that point, like, I don't know. I hate fucking circle pits to begin with. I think they're lame as shit. I think they can look really cool.
They look cool if it's like at a festival or like in a big crowd.
And
or
it's fucking going.
Yeah.
But
when
afterwards,
you just have like 4 people.
Yeah, when you have that, and then afterwards it just stays open.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bunch of dead spot, and it makes the whole crowd feel meh, and just I don't know. I was bored with it at that point.
Yeah.
And it really sucks.
I don't have the same attitude that you do about it, but
I know, but I'm saying this night I was done with it, and like the crowd just like. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't ever blame the crowd if like a circle pit doesn't happen, because I never want to think that like somebody has to do something just because somebody else is saying it.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Like this year, going to so many shows that we've went to, I've kind of felt that way where if the crowd isn't doing what the band wants to, the performance is lackluster as well. And I know that whole like the thing that you say where it's like the energy, the crowd feeds off the band, blah blah. And I could see that this night with Frozen Soul, because even the vocalist is like leaning over to the bassist and the guitarist, and like kind of being like, what the fuck's going on? Because I kind of get it, like when the crowd's not doing what you want, sort of thing, or like what you're used to, I should say.
Well, not even that. It just like even outside of a circle pit, it just there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was that like center with Frozen Soul, like that center group that was like jumping around. There was a couple crowd surfers, that sort of thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
definitely like on our side, there was like nothing going on.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is like without that circle pit, if you don't even ask for the circle pit,
yeah.
you now don't have this massive hole. It fills in. It feels more full.
Yeah.
Maybe the crowd starts bumping into themselves or moving around a little bit and having a little more energy at that point. But at that point, like we were already pushed to the side and the crowd's not like bumping in, like starting to fill this fucking hole that's just like this.
That was bugging you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing going on. Let's start to fill this in. I started to take like half a step to the left or to the right.
Oh, to try to fill it in.
Try to push people in. I think I'm going to do that more often now. Just like wherever the pit is, if it's dead, just like take a.
As long as I'm not on that side of you. Okay. The pit's full.
And then once they're in there, it's like, all right, now we're already over here, so let's keep going just a little bit more.
I almost fell off the bench.
But like that's just what you need to do. But I don't think people want to like.
No, they don't. And I saw that when like when Frozen Soul's like, let's get the circle pit going. Like I saw some people in there be like, oh nope, I'm going to the back or whatever. Like I'm not going to be standing here.
There was one point where they're like, all right, let's fill this in. Come back in. Let's fill this in. Let's fill this in. And people started to move forward. And then he's like, and circle pit again.
Yeah.
And then
because he wanted it to fill back in. I think it was the same thing where it's like. It's just this giant ass circle in the middle of the room and nobody's in it. So like get back into it and then start moving again.
And then make a circle pit again. Like no, just let the pit open then where it's gonna naturally open and just play your set. I fucking hate the call for a circle pit.
This is
every goddamn show.
This is your old man moment.
No, this is the hill I'm gonna fucking die on. I fucking hate circle pits. I hate them. I also hate the two-step bullshit and the Karate Kid fucking bullshit as well. What is wrong with the old... Here's the old man. What's wrong with just the old school mosh pit where you just bump into people? Throw your elbows out there and... Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? Yeah. How do we have to... Why do we have to improve on that? That's already perfect the way it is. It's more consolidated. It's more condensed. You can bump it, push into people, and they'll push back and... Boom, I don't know. It's so much better. And when you call for the circle pit, you have this gaping hole fucking open and nobody does anything. And it really, really sucks because I love their music. I love the set they tried to do. And I agree with you. They were pulling for as much energy as they can get. Yeah. And it just weren't getting that much. It just wasn't there
last night. Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's necessarily the band's fault. I just feel like the crowd was meh at best.
Which is fine.
I don't think so. I don't.
Why didn't you get in that fucking pit then and start bumping into people?
Don't dare throw me into this pit. I'm old and my knees hurt. No, I don't know. I've never been a pit person, but I'd like to stand on the edge of the pits for sure.
Yes.
Um,
So you can't complain about other people. Maybe everybody else's knees hurt last night too.
then don't fucking open the pit. Close it in.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyways, let's get off of this.
Yeah.
Frozen Soul, I really enjoyed their set. It made me very excited
For
to
the
go
boat?
to the boat.
Yeah.
And I haven't studied the set times and the stages and stuff very well, but I was like, where are they going to be? Where are they performing? Like, where are we going to see them? Like all that stuff. So I got excited for the boat.
I did too. I mean, I love their set, love their music. They did not this time do the magic in the middle of the circle pit.
Yeah.
Maybe because there was no circle pit. So why do a fucking magic game?
Maybe. I don't know if they've done it this whole tour. Because I was thinking, like, was that just like a thing that they did when they were opening for Amamarth, or, you know, like the opening sets and stuff, where it's like, okay, let's get this viral so that people know who we are, sort of thing.
Maybe, because I
mean, they are really big into magic. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but like...
No, but I do remember that because I remember learning about that whole thing. I was watching, I think the pit was still around at the time. And that's what it was, is like, watch these, like it's a video, like watch, and then fans play Magic the Gathering in the middle of a circle pit. And like the next week was, watch these people do square stepping or square dancing in the middle of a circle pit.
Or like Twister and like...
Or Twister.
Arcspire does.
I didn't know
Twister,
that
right?
as well. I just thought it was... And again, I thought I saw this week after week of a new thing in the middle of a pit. And I always thought it was like, oh, these are just TikTokers trying to get... like, this is my 15 minutes of fame. I'm going to do something weird and odd. And when I saw like the Magic the Gathering thing, I was like, that's fucking weird. How the fuck do you even get a deck into this? Like, these
Carry that
clearly
around.
are not good decks. These are like penny sleeves, right, that you're doing. You're not fucking bringing a Black Lotus or any Moxes into this shit, or any dual
Wouldn't that be
lands.
crazy if they opened a pack and it had like a Black Lotus or something in it?
They don't. Oh, that mean they're not going to, but yeah.
Or like some like really good card was in there.
Right. So I was like, how
You
the
just like pocket it really quick. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing with this.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
What don't you want to get into?
The nerd in me is like, there's no way they'd be throwing alpha packs in there, because that's the only place, alpha or beta, the only place you're going to get a Black Lotus. Those are like multi-$1,000 packs. So there's no way you're going to do that. But at the same
You could get a really good card though that's like $100.
You
something.
could, and there. All right, we're going off on a fucking tangent because I'm a nerd and I like Magic the Gathering.
I don't know anything about it, so...
A few years ago, when they came out with the first Modern Masters, which was like a whole reprinted set for Modern legal cards, there was like a $400 or $500 card in foil at a top 8 table. You know what top 8 is, right? It's the final table of the
People
tournament.
that actually are good at Magic, so...
Yes, not me.
You're not there.
Not me. It's a big tournament. You win this, you go to the Pro Tour. You win this, you win like $20,000, $10,000, whatever it is. I can't remember. And guy opens his first pack and opens this foil card that's worth like $500. And it's not even the best card in the pack. There's much better cards that he can pick. This is like third or fourth best card. And he picks it right away without even thinking, like, I'm going to take that, because he's going to turn around and sell it for that money right afterwards, right? Like, whatever, I don't win first place, but I still won prize money plus this on top of it. And who cares? I'm down one pick. Oh, well, I'll still build a deck. And he got so much fucking shit for that. But that's where you're like, you can just pocket the good card. And I was like, oh, shit, that's reminding me of that. But I guess what I was saying is they're not bringing vintage decks into
I
this.
understand what you're saying. So they're not going to find a Black Lotus.
Yes.
But...
Let alone, like, why would you bring a deck into this? Not knowing that it was the band who's like, we love Magic. Here's cards. Throw them in.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, oh, all right, that makes more sense. It's not necessarily the fans trying to get TikTok famous. But I get now what you're saying of, like, the band is like, this is a promotional thing. We need to get our name out there. And this is a unique viral thing. Same with Arcspire and the Twister thing. I do like Arcspire's sort of like spin it, right foot red, spin it,
Wall of Death.
Wall of Death. And then people crash into him. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
And
to me.
I mean, honestly, though, if you've never seen an Arcspire show, you wouldn't know it. It's just like, oh, let's play Twister. And then all of a sudden.
The first time I did something, like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah,
What the fuck's going on?
because they spin
here?
it, like 3 times, and then they say Wall of Death. Or
I
something.
was kind of honestly pissed off the first time I saw it. I was like, are you fucking shitting me? Stop this bullshit. The second time we saw them, I knew it was coming. I was like, Wall of Death. I got so excited for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Wall of Death, because then the circle's not open, it's closed.
Right.
Closed together.
Yes. Ping pong, like, mosh pits are the best. Wall of Death, second best. Absolute worst, fucking Karate Kid bullshit. Then two-step, then the goddamn circle pit. Fuck circle pits.
Okay, anything else about Frozen Soul so we could go on to all our griping about the crowd during Gatecreeper?
I like the personal moment of, hey, mental health is this thing. Check it out. It's becoming more and more, not necessarily a staple of, I don't want to say every band, not every band does it, but more and more bands are making a segment out of mental health within their show. And I do super, super enjoy that. I love the normalization of mental health, the removing the stigma of mental health and basically saying, hey, I'm fucked up in the head and I know I am. I know life is hard for me. I know it's hard for you then because it's hard for me. It's hard for everyone. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay for it to be hard and it's okay for you to reach out. And his sort of comment of, or the lead singer's sort of comment of, reach out and talk to your friends, talk to your family, because you might not have that opportunity tomorrow and you do not control that. So that message always resonates with me and I love hearing bands say it, and just taking 2 fucking seconds to it's a very touching moment and it's something I resonate and it's something I respect deeply when bands do stuff like that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with
that. I'm always going to love Frozen Soul simply because of that. I'm
gonna love them because they have ice scrapers.
They do have ice scrapers. That's such a cheap, fucking awesome merch item.
Like, we have an ice scraper and we never drive our car, so there's no reason to have 2. But I honestly was like,
and we're not driving it when it's snowing.
No, I don't drive when
we look
it
at the
snows.
forecast, like, oh shit, there's snow. I guess we're gonna go in 6 months.
We do not plan trips between December and February because I'm like
that we have to drive.
Exactly, because I'm like I am not driving. Anyways, no, I thought that was really cool. Sorry, I didn't want to break the ice of your sentiment, but no, I agree. I not enjoy. That's the wrong word, but I do like when bands bring up mental health and how much it does affect all of us. So
yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, for sure. But back to the merch. They're a younger band as far as I'm aware of, and they have some amazing killer fucking merch for being so goddamn young. The ice scraper just being one item for sure.
It just makes it. If we had money, I would have just bought like a whole box of them and then
oh shit, yeah,
handed them out to people.
That's not a bad idea. If we could just walk down the street, somebody has a frozen, like their windows
Frozen
frosted
soul?
over, just like Frozen Soul. Ooh, go to the churches during Sunday.
Just place them on the car.
Yeah. Holy shit, that'd be fucking awesome.
Just like the dollar bill that has Jesus loves you inside of it, but we put an ice scraper.
Oh, and then you can put a $6 bill and you flip it open. Satan.
666.
Hell, Satan. Yeah. Oh shit.
We need money, so if you want to, we're not monetized, but if you want to like and subscribe so that we become monetized, we'll buy Frozen Soul ice scrapers and put them on cars
in the church parking lot.
Yes.
We're a fuck ton away from being monetized at all. Frozen Soul, I love their fucking music, and it was super disappointing, the set, because to me it was the crowd. The crowd zapped the energy out.
Yeah.
And
it didn't bother me. I enjoyed the music.
I was not having a good time at that point, honestly.
I didn't have a good time from a couple people around us, but I still had a good time with the music.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard for me with the crowd energy.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we've been to shows that I did not expect to like, and I loved because of the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd can make it or break it, yeah.
This, for me, was, at this particular set, the crowd took it away from me.
I guess I know some of their songs, so I was fine with the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the music.
I just had my own moment. So.
Yeah. In any case, I think that's enough rambling, because we rambled a lot about Frozen Soul. Why don't we get to Gatecreeper, and you can read off their set list for us.
Yep. So they started with Punctured Wounds, Ruthless, A Chilling Aura, Caught in the Treads, Flesh Habit, Rusted Gold, From the Ashes, Mistaken for Dead, Dead Star, Patriarchal Grip, Desperation, The Black Curtain, Starved, Sick of Being Sober, Masterpiece of Chaos, and they ended with Flamethrower.
So yeah, as we said earlier, I'm wearing the battle vest because we saw them on the boat, and I'm trying to think how many times we saw them. I think only once.
On the boat?
On the boat, yeah, if I remember correctly.
The last show?
I think that may have been the only time we saw them.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe there's one other show.
There may have been one other show that we like walked in, walked out.
Yeah.
Or not walked in, not like, oh, it's Gatecreeper, let's walk out. It's like we were kind of like trying to do multiple things.
Bar stage next to the casino, maybe, but definitely the last show because of the events that happened on the boat and the schedule changes and whatnot. They ended up closing out the boat. And I remember, and well, even taking it back a step further, the first time we saw them was just a few months before at Milwaukee Metal Fest 2023.
Yep. And
we got back to our hotel, the Hilton, downtown Milwaukee, and there's a bunch of people, not a bunch, like, 5 or so people hanging outside with what looks like gear, and they walk in the same time we do, and they're kind of like, where the fuck is the lobby? Because you walk in from the ground level, and there's elevators or stairs that take you up to the first level, which is where the lobby is, where you check in and all that. We kind of look at them like, you guys looking for the lobby? And like, yeah. It's like, you can take the stairs or the elevators over here. We're going to take the elevator because we're going straight to fucking bed because we're tired.
Yeah, we're tired.
And there's 2 guys who are like, fuck you guys. We're taking the elevator. We're not taking the stairs. And they join us. We're going up one floor and we're talking to them. And they're like, oh shit, where you guys, where are you from? Oh, we're from Canada. Oh, cool. You here for the fest? Yeah, we're playing. Oh shit, no kidding. Who, what band? Gatecreeper. Oh yeah, you guys are playing tomorrow. It's like, we just fucking told you we were playing tomorrow.
No, they just said that they're playing. They didn't say tomorrow, but
whatever. Yeah, but yeah. But super cool guys in that little brief moment we saw with them. That was our first interaction with them because they were kind of cool and non-dickish about like us not knowing who the fuck they were.
Fuck, don't you know who we are?
Right, yeah. Just down to earth people. We checked out their set and it was a fucking killer set and it made us excited to see them on the boat. And again, I can't remember if we saw them before, but the last set for sure, they closed out the boat.
I remember the last set.
And I remember that being so fucking amazing. The crowd was insanely into it. The pit was amazing. The energy of the crowd, the energy of the band, everybody was just having a great fucking time. And looking back on it, I don't know if it was necessarily the people who were there were just super more into it, or if it was just the atmosphere of the boat itself.
I think everything, like the atmosphere,
or this is the last set. It's over. We don't want this to end.
And they were throwing out free merch.
They threw out their album, right? Yeah.
Like I think it was everything. Like,
all combined together.
I don't think all those people were like fans of Gatecreeper by
necessarily,
any means,
right? Yeah.
But it's just like this is the end. I mean, it was the last performance, so it's the end
of like multiple days of just going hard nonstop all day, every day. And I thought about that halfway through their set because, again, as we had already said, the pit opened for Frozen Soul for the circle pit, did 2 laps, 3 laps, and then it dispersed, and then just an open hole, and then nothing, and then the set change, and the pit's still there, nobody filling it in, and then they take stage, and they're, I want to see a circle pit. And I think the first time he said, I want to see a circle pit, nothing happened.
Nobody moved, yeah.
Not a fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, they came out. Gatecreeper came out, and the guitarist was like, right away, like, circle, yeah.
And they did that multiple times through the night. And there were a couple times where they'd say, circle pit, and I just kind of smile, and I kind of like, and I look over at the pit, just smiling like ear to ear, and I'm watching there and like circling my head around, like, and nothing's going on. It's like, oh, I guess there is no circle pit tonight. Sometimes it would happen. Sometimes there'd be a circle pit. But again, that like lack of energy in the crowd, just it continued through Gatekeeper's set. And I think they knew it as well. There were a couple times as well, they also called for, I want to see crowd surfers. Mm-hmm. And you'd have like 1 or 2 crowd surfers, but most times there were no crowd surfers when they asked for it. And again, why? Because the pit had gotten so big.
There was nowhere to crowd surf.
If you crowd surfed, you went up and down because there were 2 or 3 people between you and the wall or the barrier, right? So it's like boop, boop. And It just the circle pit is a fucking joke in my mind.
Okay, we're not going on another 30-minute rant of Brian not liking circle pits.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I know we're not going to go on another rant about that. I'm just saying that to me that was the big issue
Yes.
here is the call for a circle pit and the pit getting so big and nobody filling it in afterwards.
Okay, got it.
Again, they just like Frozen Soul asked for people to come in, and then people moved in a little bit, and then the circle pit would open again and it'd get just as big. What was kind of cool for me is at some point that ping pongy sort of chain reaction pit did open up in the center at the front of the stage in that group of like three people.
Yeah.
And that pit looked fucking awesome. That looks like a good fucking pit. But again, it was only consolidated that little area and a massive fucking hole behind them that they're just sort of like not doing shit. I was just very disappointed because I remember the show on the boat and remember how amazing that was. I remember walking up the stairs after that show and seeing a guy I had seen multiple times just out of energy and just like sweating from head to toe and just like collapsed on a chair. And he saw me and he's like, we fist bumped. He's like, holy fuck, that was awesome. This fucking sucks. It's over. I was like, I know, right? It just, the energy there, and I wanted that here as well. And I don't know. I loved their set. I loved their music. It was so good. The Black Curtain came out and they played that, and it was like, holy shit, this is. I think that was the track. It was like, this is your big breakthrough track. This is the song that gets you on the fucking radio, possibly, or like this is.
I don't think Gatecreeper is gonna be on the radio.
I don't either. But if they were, like, this is gonna like.
Okay.
This was the one song that was so different, or so not necessarily softer.
Yeah.
But more.
I understand what you're saying.
Consumable by the masses.
Yeah.
Than anything else they had. I was like, holy shit, this is the song that is gonna break you through and make you mainstream. But it still retains who you are as a band and the sound you have.
I get what you're saying.
So I was super happy to hear that. I was super happy to like, holy fuck, you guys are awesome. But again, the crowd was just sort of, fuck this crowd. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, by that time, by the middle of Gatecreeper, I think somebody had moved in front of us that had a full-size backpack on.
Yeah.
Which was fucking annoying.
It's weird that you were able to get in with that,
I know.
too.
So through the night, I saw 4 other people with fucking backpacks.
For real.
Not even kidding you.
The only thing I thought about was, I mean, we're in Chicago. You're right on the train. It's an 8 p.m. show on a weeknight, a school night, right? So you're working downtown, and then you're going straight from downtown to the show, and you have to have your backpack with you because you're going home with your laptop and whatnot in it. But at the same time, it's 2020. Why the fuck are you in the office? Why aren't you working from home that day? All right, it's mandatory. Like, I'm going through all these scenarios in my head. But it made me think about just riding the L all the time.
Oh, and backpacks.
And just, I used to hate, and I still do hate people with backpacks. I instantly judge you if you have a backpack right now in my life, because riding the L is, you have so many people who don't think about their surroundings or are not considerate about their backpacks, so they'll just bump into you with this massive ass backpack.
Yeah.
But you'll have the cool people who will take their backpack off and put it between their legs.
That's what I do.
On the L.
Yeah. I mean, I don't take the L very often, but if I do, I put it between my legs.
But seeing people at shows like that, I'm like, why the fuck would you even think that this was a good idea?
I was going to say, like, there was some shows that we've been to. Like, there's been a couple festivals that we've been to, and I think that's about it. Because otherwise, I never took a purse or anything. But, like, I did take some backpacks to a couple festivals, like Riot Fest and Upheaval. And I apologize so much to anybody I was around, because that's fucking annoying.
And you can't even do that anymore. Now it's like a clear bag.
Well, that's what I had, was clear bags.
Okay. Even though, though you're like, fuck, this is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, because it's just, it's in the way. Did I need whatever was in there? No. Like...
I think about that. We have a clear plastic tube for posters. Mm-hmm. And every time we go to like a festival or something, like, you're going to bring the poster tube with you? I'm like, no, I don't think so. And you're like, well, why the fuck did we buy it? We bought it to go to these things. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. We did take it once to a festival that didn't have a poster. And then I got asked all the time, like, is that a bong? Do you have a bong?
I thought it was a bong.
And I was like, no, it's a poster tube. There was another show we went to. I can't remember what one. Oh, Milwaukee Metal Fest. And I had it on my back that, like, preview night. And, like, one of the photographers, like, that's a fucking brilliant idea right there. I don't know if he was joking or sincere about it. But I don't wear it because of that reason as well. Like I don't want to bump into people. Now I will wear cargo pants and throw the shit I need, which is just a sweat rag and a recharger for the phone and a bottle of water that I'll carry in one hand type thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't take anything anymore.
I have found that buying merch and like t-shirts in particular, take my belt out of one loop and then put half the shirt in the loop and half it out and then re-loop it and tighten it up works fucking phenomenally.
Yeah. So much better than holding them all night.
Any case, we didn't talk a whole lot about.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So I think I was not upset about the crowd with like the energy and shit like that. I was upset with the people around us, and I think that really took me away from seeing Gatecreeper's actual performance. Like I was trying to focus, but then like the backpack would run into me, or the guy behind me would be coughing on me, like I could feel it.
Cover your goddamn mouth. Like, come on, how'd you not learn that during COVID?
The couple next to us would be talking, and then a friend walked up and was talking to them, and I'm just like, I was just so it was just one of those nights where I couldn't get into it because of those situations. I didn't care about the circle pit. Fucking, it's a circle pit, whatever. But that whole situation around us, and that's when I was eventually like, I'm going to move.
See, I get what you're saying, and I think I'm in the same boat for sure. But then I look over at the circle pit and I'm like, oh, well, I can't really move over there. I guess I could have. We could have moved.
You could have
just
stood in the middle.
People
can move in.
That's on us. We could have easily just moved in and stood in the center of the circle pit. Like, fuck these motherfuckers for talking. Fuck this dickhead for coughing on me. Not even covering his goddamn mouth. It's like,
yeah. When I could feel it in my hair, like when they coughed. No.
I don't know.
It was just an off night for a show, and it was disappointing that it was, because I was actually really excited to see this show.
I was too.
And it was just an off night all around.
Especially once I realized I had seen Worm, and I got so fucking excited, and there was nobody there for that. And by the time Worm got over,
I thought it was busy for Worm.
By the time they started, there was nobody there.
Oh, okay.
Like there was a lot of room.
Like right when doors opened?
Yes.
Or when it started.
And by the time they finished their set, we both like turned around like, holy fuck, it's packed in here, which is awesome to see, right?
Yeah.
They're such a great band. It needs to be packed for that. And it needs to be packed all night for all three of these bands, because all three of the bands are fucking awesome. But again, yeah, like you said, it was just an off night. It was very disappointing. To me, the root of it is the circle pit. I know we talked a lot about that. I know you're tired of me saying that, but
we're just gonna call this Brian hates circle pits.
I fucking hate circle pits. Other than that, like the chatter around us as well, like super fucking annoying. Like I tried to make a segment out of this during the shows. Like, what would you say the chatter level was for this? And I'm starting to realize that it's the same every show you go to. You just need to find the spot where the chatter is and the chatter isn't. There needs to be, we talked about this, Cadet, the rock fest that they have up there. They allowed moshing this year. We never followed up on that to see how that turned out.
Oh, no, we did not.
I need to look into that. But they opened up designated areas for moshing. There needs to be designated areas for shitheads talking. Like, this is the talking section.
No, because then it'll be in the back. And I remember during Citizen Soldier, like, these two girls were like having a full-blown conversation, laughing, all this stuff, and somebody politely said, hey, can you please stop talking? And they're like, I didn't know that this was elementary school, blah, 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 blah. It's like, shut the fuck up. People are trying to listen to the music.
Right.
Not listen to your conversation.
But then you know to stay away from that section. You can go over here. And like, that's what I'm saying. That way you can...
That section is out the doors.
I agree with you. I agree. Back home where you can listen to it on Spotify and sing the music that you want then and have the conversation you want then. In any case, live music is awesome. You're going to have shitty things happen no matter where you go. As I said, like, the fucking chatter is just going to happen everywhere, unfortunately, nowadays. But all in all, the music was fucking phenomenal. I thought it was a meh show at best, but you know what? That's live music. You don't know what you're going to get, and hopefully the next show will be better, and we'll see you out there.
Bye.